Okay, I'm back. Let's talk about the cipher again. I've been chatting with a lot of people, trying to process, trying to confirm maybe if it's right. I just like to get other people's perspectives, as long as they're nice and they don't tell me to kill myself, which was happened on Reddit. But we're moving on from that too. Okay, so why did I, or how did I ultimately think that I solved it? And so I'm going to go through that a little bit more detail. And so really it started with the number 50. If you've read a lot of my posts or seen some of my posts, like I talk about the number 50 a great deal, because I feel like Justin has hidden it in plain sight in multiple stories that I deem to be treasure maps. So like in the acknowledgments, he says, sometimes the treasure is between two lines in an acknowledgement page. A lot of people think the picture. I've always thought it was the like the M dash that said this book is equal parts confession, memoir, and treasure map. And so, honestly, if that's wrong, that's gonna suck, because I've probably spent over a month like reading the book 50 times or more in every single version imaginable. I go to bed listening to it. I've sickening amount of time, just sickening. It's not a proud thing, but today's a good day. Anyway, 50. He says in the Snout Scout that Tucker, that dogs have 300 million olfactory, nose sensing, whatever, and that humans have 6 million. And then he said that that's 40 times as strong, but it's not. It's 50x as strong. So that's the first hidden 50. In the Tender Tornado, he explains what bills are in the money machine, and the answer is ones, 5, 10s, 20s, and the mythical 100. And then the very next sentence after the mythical 100, he does a lot of fancy talk in that sentence. Don't remember what it says, but my thought is that it's trying to get you to look past the fact that he didn't say a 50. Like a $2 bill he didn't say either, but like that's obscure. A 50, you would think that if you're gonna have 100, why would you not have a 50? So that's the second one. Then the Trail Side Troubles. He says he recruits Aiden and Mike. Aiden, a real person, we've discovered this, to go from Tucson to Helena. And he said that that's a 25-hour drive. Now, he also, this isn't related, but like earlier in the book, he talks about how his mom thought he was Mario Andretti 2.0. So my guess is he drives fast. If you drive the speed limit, that trip should take around 18 and a half hours. If you speed or go a little bit over, like my guess is you're going to make it in about 18. It's 36 hours round trip. But he says it's 25 hours, which is 50 hours round trip. So that would be the third 50. And so I've honestly never looked at the periodic tables before or tried to solve the cipher that way. But on Discord, which I've spent a lot of time, I've only been on it for like a week, at least actively. But I was going through there and I saw someone that posted something that's called the Bible, which is a Bible, but it's for Justin, and it's everything that Justin has ever said as it relates to this hunt. And it's sorted by subject. And so one of the subjects is a cipher. And so between the interviews, the Q&A, things that he says on the website, I don't know, there's 7, 8, 9 references or answers that he gives to the cipher. And when you see them all there in a Word document, like lined up after each other, it's very, well, at least for me, like I very quickly saw that he says two elements. There's two elements at play. You just need to be able to add two numbers together. You just need to be able to do multiplication or whatever. So like multiplication or a version of multiplication. So 50 is where I started. The number 50, atomic number 50, 10, also is the chapter number for the treasure itself. So I felt like that was a connection point in itself. Obviously not enough to have conviction yet, but that's where I started. And then I looked up what containers have tin. So what could hold 60 pounds of treasure and include tin as one of its like composition materials? And I got a list. I mean, there were probably, there's some weird items on there, but like, I don't know, there are 10, 15 items on the list. And I went through the book and I looked up every single one of them, like how many times were they referenced? And the vast majority of them, the answer was 0. I think that, I mean, maybe there are some other things that could make sense, but like bells, I think was mentioned 6 times, and 6 felt like it had been kind of a repeat number that had come up. And so that's what I initially like started rabbit holing more is that. So then I was looking at the actual chapters themselves, and when I started, I only focused, so I said earlier on the acknowledgement pages, like memoir, confession, treasure map. I have an Excel sheet that I've way too big. I'm never going to share it because it's crazy. It will make me look crazy. I have like 257 pages of like Word document notes as well. I'm sure there's some repeat thoughts, but like I just read the book. If I don't understand a word or a sentence, or I feel like it could have deeper meaning, I write it down and then I research it. And then I insert my research into like the Word document, and I just try to keep a gathering of every individual thought that I can pull from it. There's a lot of philosophy, there's a lot of stuff, and yeah, maybe this is why I went off the deep end with Aiden and Aaron. It probably is, because I overthink things. And so I tried to take a step back and not overthink it, not think too hard, think about like where are the clues leading me, and what, how could this work out? And so I think I misexplained a little bit earlier. I first looked up what container could it be, but like what material would that be? And so I found that tin and copper make bronze. Considering that Tucker was taught to smell bronze, the Forrest Fenn hunt was hunting for a bronze chest, and the fact that in one of the Q&As or one of the interview questions, he said the cipher is a nod of sorts. Since I've posted what I posted, and I'll get to this later, like I found out that Forrest Fenn has a affinity for the item that I think is the answer to the cipher, or had. So I then have bronze, which is copper and tin combined, which is 50 plus 29, which is 79. And then that's probably the first time like my jaw really dropped when I looked it up and I saw AU and it was gold. And so what is in a bronze chest or in a bronze container? Gold. It was true in the Forrest Fenn hunt and it's true in this one. And so now there's gold inside, bronze on the outside, but what is it? And so I looked up what containers, again, could hold 60 pounds of treasure and have both copper and tin in it, and built a list, smaller list this time, and looked up the book again of what was or was not mentioned. I mean, you could argue that maybe a shovel, it's not a shovel, so obviously that doesn't work. So I couldn't find anything else that would work better than bell. And so if you add, and this is where multiplication comes in, so 4 parts copper, 1 part tin, so 4x copper, 1x tin, add those two numbers together, and you get the composition of a bell. Now, apparently there's a book, I didn't know this at the time, about Forrest Fenn. It's called Fenn's Bells, and apparently there's deep connections with bells. I wasn't part of the Forrest Fenn hunt. I think this might be obvious information to a lot of people, but like there's a deep bell connection. He says it's a nod to Forrest, well, it's a nod to someone. I assume it's a nod to Forrest Fenn. And it's connected to ultimately the Snout Scout, which is Tucker, and then the Curious Confluence, which is Forrest Fenn. And so, yeah, I think that's it. I think it is, but I guess I don't know, and I don't necessarily think that Justin will confirm. So I'm just gonna believe my my own little narrative, and I'm gonna live my best life. So that's it. Good day.